Hello, friends. Welcome back to Be the Change. I am on day 8 of COVID, so I'm starting to feel a little better and have a little bit more ideas blooming in my mind. So I'm back here to share. I want to highlight that I just got this wonderful sweatshirt from my friend, Sam Castle. It says, Be you, do you, in an infinity symbol. Be you, do you. I was on his podcast and had so much fun and have now gotten to know him a little bit. And he's making some really cool merch. So I will link that in this description in the YouTube description. So definitely check these out. This sweatshirt is so cozy and wonderful, and I highly recommend it. And there's some other t-shirts and fun stuff. So go check it out. All right. So what are we talking about today? So this video is going to be about those times when you are wanting to be less on your phone or less on TV and don't know sort of what to do instead, okay? I know if you're anything like me, there are points in life where there's gaps, whether they're just 5 minutes or they're like a couple of hours in the evening after you're done with your paid work, where you feel kind of like, well, I guess I just could watch another like 4 shows, or I could look at Instagram. And if that is feeling good to you, then go for it and enjoy. If that's ending up feeling like, sometimes it feels to me a little funky, or like a little like, sometimes I can even get a little nauseous from it. And I think it might be just too much time on a screen for my brain. And I feel sometimes a little like, what else am I supposed to do? So this video is going to offer you some thoughts for those moments. Now, the first and foremost is, if you are really wanting to interact less with your phone, my first idea for you is to turn off your notifications. So not having notifications on your phone is just automatically, you're going to have less of those little reminders. And I know it sounds kind of obvious, but even taking the email notifications off of my phone has been really dramatic in how much I look at it. And what I've done is I have just a calendar reminder to check my email once in the morning and once in the evening. And so I know that I'm not going to miss anything that's going to be like related to a work appointment or what have you. And it has resulted in me spending a lot less time on my phone. And that was inspired by the book, The 4-Hour Work Week, which has a lot of really interesting ideas about spending less time doing tasks and transitioning between tasks. So I'll link that in the description as well. Okay, so that's the first thought. But then the next couple of ones is more about why, like, what need might you be needing? Okay, so why are you looking at your phone or spending time with the TV? Okay, so this I learned from 12 Steps, and it's called HALT. And it's for these moments where you're like, what is it that's actually happening? And the letters stand for, are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And hungry, angry, lonely, tired. I like to add in like angry / sad / scared, or just like having some feelings, right? Because when I first learned this, I wasn't able to relate to anger. So I just always skipped over that one. But for me, it really is, are you having some big emotions? Okay. So hungry, angry, or big emotions, lonely, or tired. Asking yourself if you're some of those can be really disorienting at first. If you're anything like me, when I first started asking me if I was any of those 4 things, I was like, I have never not been at least one of those. Like, I'm always one of those. And that was a really big wake up call for me, because I realized that I had gotten to the point in life when I was pretty much always tired, and I was also pretty much always feeling big emotions. So, and I was often hungry too, right? Since I wasn't meeting my own needs. So these ones may seem like kind of silly and simple, but it's actually a pretty enormous undertaking to try and actually show up for some of your needs. Most of us push past hunger or needing to go to the bathroom or sleep on a very regular basis. And this has been really reinforced by our worker bee culture, right? So making the decision that you'd like to look at your tiredness level or at your making sure that your hunger needs are met is a pretty big deal. It's not just a guaranteed, right? And tiredness can really play in with that TV and phone time if you're ending up doing that late in the evening, which a lot of us are. So we could talk for an hour about how to work on increasing your sleep and how to show up for yourself in terms of hunger. But at a very basic level, my recommendation is that you approach these things like you would in a little child. Okay. So if you don't have little children in your life, you can basically just think about also how you would support like an animal with them. Okay. So with an animal or with a small child, you're going to regularly provide them with food and you're going to prepare in advance for that. So if you take a child out for a couple of hours, you're going to pack some snacks and something to drink, right? And you're going to ask them, do you need to go to the bathroom? Because you're sort of monitoring that for them. Okay. If you have a animal that you're traveling with, you're going to regularly stop and you're going to give them water and you're going to give them bathroom breaks. Okay. So approaching your own self like you're a little animal or a little child that you're taking care of with the food and the water and the bathroom breaks can be a great start. Most of us have these skills, but we just don't apply them to ourselves. And then with the sleep, you want to do the same thing. So with a little child, you would be like, okay, now it's your nap time. You're going to take a nap. And they'd be like, I'm not tired. I don't want to take a nap. And you'd say, I know that you're not, but I'm just going to take you on a walk in the stroller for, I used to, with my kiddo, I would say, I'm just going to count to 300. And if you haven't fallen asleep by 300, then it's no problem. You don't have to take a nap. And guess what? There was not a single time. And you can do that for yourself, right? You can just say, I'm just going to have you lay down for 15 minutes. And if you don't fall asleep, then you can get back up and you can set a bedtime just like you would with a little kid. And the kid does everything in their ability to not go to bed. And you just say, yep, this is your bedtime. And I'm doing it because I love you. And you just can be like that with yourself, yep, this is your bedtime and this is what's happening. This is what we're doing. And I know it's hard and I know you don't want to do it, but I'm going to help you with it. And just like with little kids, you can start getting ready for your bedtime half an hour before, if the bedtime's 9 o'clock, you're not going to say, all right, let's get you in the shower and brush your teeth at 9 o'clock. You're going to start at 8:30. So same thing with you, set your bedtime and set your getting ready for bedtime as half an hour before and just, talk with yourself as you would a little kid. I know you want to stay up. I know you want one more glass of water. I know you just want to check one more last thing on your phone, but the phones are going off and we're going to bed. Okay. So with the hungry, angry, lonely, and tired, just showing up for yourself as you would with a child or an animal is a great way to think about it. Okay, so the first thing is meeting your needs, right? Finding out if there are any needs, meeting your needs. For a lot of us, that's going to look like some extra rest. So that's going to bring up this question mark and possibly some self-criticism around, is it okay to rest? Is it safe to rest? Am I going to get in trouble if I'm resting? Am I not good enough if I'm resting? So for that, I invite you to look at just all of the different resources that are available online around anti-capitalism. There's lots of nice anti-capitalist affirmations that you can look at and explore and start to really ask yourself the question. And again, a nice way to look at yourself when you're trying to release some of these worker bee virtues is to look at yourself like you would a pet. Okay. So if the cat is taking their seventh nap of the day, you're just going to say, oh, they're so cute. They're so sweet, right? You're not going to say, wow, they've just really made nothing of their life. They're just laying there again. So you can start to talk to yourself as you would to an animal or to a little child. And really starting to pick apart these questions about what are we really here for? Okay, so if we've met our basic needs with whatever amount of work we've done, and we've, you know, basically taken care of our hygiene, and we don't need things to be in like perfect tip top clean to the 10th degree. If things are generally okay in our environment, then is it okay to just pass time pleasantly or in a way that doesn't make things worse, right? Do we always have to be improving upon or gaining or monetizing or producing, right? So I think that there is less cultural acceptance for just passing time in a nice way. You think about when we go on vacation, we might leave 2 or 3 hours of the day to just lay at the beach, right? We might just plan for sitting around. And rarely do we give ourselves permission to do just sitting around unless we're looking at a screen, okay? It seems like that's one of the activities where we're allowed to just sit around. So, looking at if I'm going to let myself sit and do the phone or the TV show, then what else could I maybe let myself sit around and do? And I like to say I'm not necessarily trying to make things better, but I'm just trying to not make things worse. So let's say I'm really tired and I don't have anything else planned for the evening. I can just not make things worse by, if it makes me feel uncomfortable or sick to watch more TV. And I don't have to make it incredibly better. I could just do something mundane like play solitaire or do a crossword puzzle or write somebody a note or something like that. So in case you don't have ideas like that, I am going to post below a list of pleasant activities. And this is fun because there's ones that you probably haven't thought of, and there's like 100 of them. So I'm going to list that for you in the description. And then I'm also going to list for you another fun thing that I found, which is a random act of kindness calendar. And it has a different little idea of some things to do. And that can be a really lovely way to fill some time too. If you're like, I only have a half an hour right now. What am I going to do? You can look at this little calendar and there might be some fun ideas like writing someone a card. And speaking of that, I also found another thing that's called the Love Letter Project. Excuse me. The world needs more love letters is what it's called. And it is a website that connects people who nominate someone who they think could benefit from receiving like a nice card with people who are willing to write a nice card. And so for just, 50 cents of a stamp, you could send someone a nice encouraging note. And that can be a really lovely one, especially for the loneliness, as can all of the random acts of kindness. Those can be really great when you're feeling lonely because not only does it help you to remember that you're not the only person that might be feeling lonely, but the reward center of the brain that lights up when somebody does something kind for us also gets the same positive dose of chemicals when we do something nice for someone else. So it can really help with loneliness when you start to create opportunities to help someone else who might be feeling lonely, and then that makes you feel connected and worthwhile. So I will link the love letters website, the random act of kindness, and the list of pleasant activities. And, you could just go through one after another, and it could be something as simple as, playing solitaire, or something like writing a nice letter to someone, or making some collage art and cutting it up into bookmark size and bring it to the local library to give away with books. Or, there's 1,000,000,000 different little ways that you can fill time that won't make it worse, and that might even make it a little bit better if you're trying to spend time away from your phone. So those are just some ideas, and I hope you all take such good care. You could also make a YouTube video. One that obviously that's one of the things I've been enjoying. But really, yeah, anything. I meant to say that this is my favorite word search thing. I get them at the dollar store, and they're like inspirational quotes, and they're very easy because some of those other like word finds are very hard for me, and I don't feel up to it. But these have like a nice quote, and then you just find the words. So I highly recommend these. They're so fun. And these are perfect for those like 30 seconds in between a couple of things where maybe I previously would have checked my phone or looked at social media, and I can just find one word, and it feels really fun and satisfying and inspiring with the quotes, and it's just $1. Okay, sending so much love. Take care.